Alright guys, so in this video we're going to calibrate the flow rate of the 4 injectors on a Mk1 Golf CIS GTI. Okay guys, so I'm going to pull the injectors. So I have these 3 already removed. Now I'm going to do this one. This is probably the easiest one to start at. And so the way I did it was I took the rocker cover off, and then you can use this edge just here just to lever against. So the first time I did it, I went in with one of these little pliers, thinking I could get in here and just lift it underneath the nut. But I think you're going to end up bending the injector if you did that. So what I did was, I know you can get a special tool that's in the shape of an L, but ain't nobody got time for that. So you get 2 ordinary flathead screwdrivers, and so you put the screwdrivers either side of it, push up, and it will pop out. You do have to put a bit of force into it, but it will pop up. And once it's popped up, you can then take it out. So this seal here goes hard. So that's why it's what's keeping it stuck. But once you get up, it comes out very easy. You don't have to take off the valve cover, but you don't want to damage it. And the other thing is, that's a very solid piece just to push against, and especially with the 2 screwdriver method, they all pop up very easily. To get the valve cover off, obviously you take off all the nuts all the way around the top, and you take off the time belt cover as well. And there's one nut hidden down here, and it's a torque wrench that you need, and it has no number on it. Great. But anyway, that's the nut that has to come off, and it fits way off down here somewhere. There, I think. So once you take that off, take all of this off, they do come out very easily, and that is the best and simplest method I've ever found to take out these injectors. So especially about this car, it's 1985, so it's like 36 years of age, and those rubbers are absolutely solid, so they're very hard to get in and out. So this is the easiest method I found to get them out. Now that the injector's removed, they're going to go into the jam jar. It doesn't matter if it's plastic or glass. That's full of petrol. Put a lid onto it, and it's going to go into the ultrasonic bath for probably about half an hour to an hour. I'll check on it every so often to see how well it's doing. But yeah, it's just 4 of them in it there now, and it can buzz away. Leave it floating there. I'm going to turn on the ultrasonic. Okay, so they've been in it for probably about 40 minutes. And well, it's been on and off for 40 minutes because I've been checking on them as well. And I think I might just leave them in it overnight. Okay, so we're back at it again, and yeah, they look very clean. Only one way to really know if they're clean or not is to test them and see if they're all flowing the same rate. But if you look very carefully, where that little dimple is, there should be a little gap underneath, and apparently this is an air shroud. So when the injector is injecting fuel in, there's a little air shroud going to be sucked in around it. That's why there's 2 seals, and this is at a lower like thickness, or a smaller thickness than everything else. So air is meant to pass in this way and then get sucked in with the stream of fuel, and does an air shroud to help get better atomization. And the reason for that is for emissions and for low idle. So yeah, I've been looking at mine and can't tell either way, but I think it's clean. Maybe that's a really bad example of one, but the others are looking much better. Like that's being clean, and there. It looks dirty, but it's in real life it's actually very clean. It's just a little bit of dirt and maybe a little bit of petrol that's sitting there. That's why it looks blocked, but it's actually clean. Might give them a blowout and then install them and see how it. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but somehow it is able to make a little like air shroud. It's basically like an air cone that goes around your fuel, and it helps atomization. So on some cars they don't have it, it's just a straight injector, and some cars they do have it. I assume something to do with emissions. Mine have it, so I'm just going to leave it on it. But yeah, I'm going to test them out, and if I need new injectors, I'll buy new injectors. If they actually come out clean and they're perfect, we'll go on with how they are. Just have to buy new rubbers at the top. To calibrate the flow rate of the 4 injectors. So, first step, turn on the ignition. Okay, so now we want the pump to be constantly on. So what I've done is, on my one, the relay has been removed and an ordinary relay has been reinstalled. Or what you can do is find the warm-up valve regulator. There's 2 wires, and you can probe the positive wire back to the battery. So on mine, someone has already been in here, so you can take the positive side, so just a jumper wire from that, just an extra wire, and bring it over here, and that will cause the pump to be permanently on even without the engine running. Now we have the ignition on, you can hear the pump pumping. I have the airbox disconnected and the air filter removed, and there's a plunger just underneath this bit here. I'm going to reach my hand in and push it up. The more you push it up and down, the more these work, so I'm going to go at 100% to give the injectors a full blast to see if they all are producing petrol at the same rate. Whoa. So before we go any further, please do subscribe. Really helps out my channel. Okay, come on, let's get back to it. So, get my hand now in here. You can just about feel it there. Okay, and go. Okay, I'm going to release it now. That's now released. We're going to take each one of these off, put on the bench, and just check that the levels are all the same. Now ideally you would leave it for longer, maybe about a minute, but I just wanted to have a quick test. And you can see that the level is just about the same the whole way across, so I'm very happy with that. So I'm not going to reuse this petrol, it's going to go into the lawnmower. I'm not going to put it back into the car, but you can see there is a little bit of silt just at the bottom of each one of them. That's actually probably the cleanest. You can see a little bit there, you can see a little bit just down here and over here. Now the lawnmower won't mind. So you can see how much silt is actually left behind. Okay, so I didn't actually need to calibrate mine in the end, but if you do, you undo each one of these little screws. There's 2 at the back as well. And in behind that, there's another little screw. You can adjust the calibration of each injector. Okay, so once again, I have everything set up. This time we're going to look for a spray pattern. So we're going to look at injector number 3, because it's just the easiest one I have. And we're going to... Okay. They're all spraying. There's a nice... and no drips. Okay, really happy with that. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a good spray pattern? Okay, so I have each one of them set up that they could drip, and I'm just going to watch them now and make sure that none of them drip, because they all have good spray pattern, they all have level amount that they spray out. So now just checking for drips. So far, no drips. So next on the list of things to do is to remove these black rubbers, and I have new green ones. I tried using a Stanley knife just to cut them, but they're so rock hard, they're impossible to cut, so I've been using pliers like this and just snipping them off. Okay, I now have the engine all back together and it's running great. Hey guys, so if you like these videos, please do rate, comment and subscribe. It always helps me out if you can subscribe. It helps the channel so much and it bumps me up in the YouTube algorithm. So if this video has helped you and you want to support my channel, there's a link in the description below at buymeacoffee.com, and it's a way of supporting me by buying me a virtual cup of coffee. Thanks guys, please subscribe, see you later.